Hello, sir. Would you like to hear some untruths?
Sure, but what are these untruths?
Well, untruths are.
Yes?
No, I was waiting for the intro. Hey guys, what's up? Didn't you like that intro? It was like, took me 10, 20 seconds maybe to think that up. um, I wanted to set the tone for this video because, this is my 4th vlog already, 1 month anniversary, so, I wanted to, like, make this a less serious vlog because my first 3 have been introduction, coming out video, racism, all in 1 month. So I just decided I wanted it to be sillier more than serious. What I want to start doing is every first of the month, make a video to put up on my first channel and then my vlog channel, and my vlog channel. Of my first channel, Untruths. Just the first of every month. Put 10 untruths and common misconceptions in history, up onto as a video on my first account on YouTube. So, but the reason this is going on both is because this also happens to fall on a weekend this month. The first happens to fall on Sunday, which is today. So on these ones, I'm just going to do half vlog, half untruths. So, vlog part first, and then we get to the fun part later. I finished Romeo and Juliet for school. It's very sad how they both die at the end. It's sad and moving, but I also feel pity because they're like, it's just so like untimely. Like if it would have just like waited a couple more minutes before he like drank the poison, he probably would have like averted it all. Darn Mantua for being closed, and he couldn't deliver that letter. Oh well, it happened today. Today, I went to go see the Hunger Games. This is the second weekend, or it's been out a whole week already. Last weekend is when it came out. But, yeah, I went to go see it. And, my sister asked me the question when I came home. Who is your favorite character? She had read all of the books already, and she had seen the movie. That was the second time she was already seen the movie. And, she asked me who my favorite character was, and I said, either, Katniss or, Rue. I kind of liked her personality, but this is only from seeing the movie, so I haven't read the books yet, so, she didn't have much of a part, except for, right towards the end, or right before she died, which is when she was working together with Katniss. And then, it's really weird because I picked the 2 characters that are getting the most, like, I guess, buzz right now, because, critics were saying that Katniss, the character Katniss, was, the actress that was playing her was too fat to play the role, because they were supposed to be emaciated, and District 12 is this poor district that, like, probably wouldn't have enough food, and she looked plump, is what I heard they're saying. And, then, Rue, many people, even though my sister told me she was described as dark-skinned in the book, many people apparently didn't think she was going to be black. So, I've heard that people were tweeting that, Oh, I didn't know she was gonna be black in the movie, so I just couldn't find enough sympathy for her when she died. I was like, oh my god, that was the saddest part of the movie. Another sad part though was right at the beginning when I can't remember the little sister's name right now, but Katniss's little sister gave her the Mockingjay pin back to her after she had given it to her. That was a sad moment. Alright now, time for some untruths. So, I got this book. It's called Stupid History. It says, Tales of Stupidity, Strangeness, and Myth Conceptions Throughout the Ages. And, what it is this book that I got for Christmas, and it's basically what the subtitle says. I'll read you, so here's how the page is set up. First, I'll read the title, and then, I'll read whatever is in red here, and then I'll read this. Although on some pages, like, on this one, this red text is not related at all to what the page is saying, so, I'm just gonna skip those. So, why is Paul Revere revered? Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. The Landlord's Tale, Paul Revere's Ride, by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, not The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, as most people call it, is one of the best-known poems in American historical literature. But it's a poem. It is an actual history. Paul Revere didn't make the historical ride to Concord, Massachusetts, to warn the citizens the British are coming. He did, however, ride into Lexington on April 17, 1775, warning the regulars are coming. The British Army was referred to as the regular troops. And on April 18th, Paul Revere and a cobbler named William Dawes and a doctor named Samuel Prescott were heading toward Concord to warn the citizens about British troops. Unfortunately, the three were spotted by a British patrol, and Revere was captured and detained. Dawes headed back toward Lexington, but Prescott continued into Concord and was able to warn the citizens. Revere was released by the British the next day and had to return to Lexington on foot because they kept his horse. So actually, it was a Dr. Samuel Prescott that made the immortal ride into Concord and not Revere. The Myth of Magellan. After learning about Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue in 1492, we were taught that Ferdinand Magellan sailed around the world in a single trip, or circumnavigated the globe, if you will. Well, he didn't. Magellan, a Portuguese captain in the service of Spain, set out on August 10th, 1519 from Seville with 5 ships and a crew of 250 men. Things didn't go so well for old Magellan, though. His 3-year journey was plagued with terrible weather, maps that weren't up to date, starvation, and a violent mutiny. The truth of the matter is only one of Magellan's ships, the Victoria, arrived back at Seville with only 18 of its 50 crew members alive on that one ship. One other person who didn't make it was Ferdinand Magellan himself. When his ship landed on Mactan Island in the Philippines, he was met with a less than friendly reception party. Magellan died, face down on the beach, looking like a pincushion from the numerous spears sticking out of his body. I'll do 2 about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, return to sender, address unknown. Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address is considered one of the most moving and brilliantly written speeches of all time. And the most fascinating aspect of the speech is that Lincoln wrote it on the back of an envelope while traveling by train through Pennsylvania. Wrong. It would be wonderful to believe this masterpiece was so divinely inspired that Lincoln dashed it off in a matter of minutes. But the truth is, Lincoln began working on the Gettysburg Address 11 days before he gave the speech on November 19th, 1863. In fact, there are 5 drafts of the speech still in existence, some even written on White House stationery. And then the next one is, by any means necessary. Here's another well-known fact about President Abraham Lincoln. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, right? Well, not really. The proclamation issued by Lincoln on January 1st, 1863, proposed freeing the slaves in the southern states only. It didn't mention ending slavery in the North. Even Lincoln's Secretary of State, William Henry Seward, saw the irony in this and stated, "We show our sympathy with slavery by emancipating slaves where we cannot reach them and holding them in bondage where we can set them free." Meaning, he didn't free them in the North. Before he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, Lincoln threatened the South by saying if they didn't rejoin the Union, he would abolish slavery. They didn't, and he had to follow through with his threat, but it was an empty threat because the South had already seceded and Lincoln had no authority over it. Lincoln's real reason for the proclamation was made very clear in a letter he sent to the New York Times. "My paramount objective in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not to save or destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would do that." Although we are all taught that Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, it didn't. What did free the slaves was the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, which was ratified in the latter part of 1865, and unfortunately Lincoln was already dead by this time. So there you go, 4 untruths, probably a long video, and alright. That's the first one. I'll be making one every month on the 1st. Bye.